Hey, what is up everybody? It is AJ here, and in today's video, I want to teach you how to use one of my favorite features in Microsoft Outlook, which is meeting polls. I've been using meeting polls for a few years because it makes it really easy to schedule meetings with people both internally as well as externally from your organization. So what we're going to do is jump on the computer and actually learn how we can use meeting polls in Microsoft Outlook. You can see here I'm in Microsoft Outlook, and the first thing I want to do is go and create a brand new email. And we're going to have this both sent to internal employees as well as a few external people as well. I'm going to show you the difference here and also how it can actually benefit you. Say we're going to have a meeting with Terry and Elwood. You can see these guys are actually part of the organization. And then we're also going to add an external person as well. And I'm going to add in my YouTube channel, Aldo James Tech Tips at outlook.com. What we have here is two people that are internal, part of our organization, as well as an external person as well, which is my email address. So what we're going to do is in the ribbon here under the messaging tab on the right hand side, there's a button called new scheduling poll. On my Outlook, it's third from the right, and we're going to open up new scheduling poll. What this is going to do is going to look at the availability of my calendar as well as the people in my organization, and it's going to give me suggestions for the times that work best for us. This is also set to, there's a button here called meeting hours. This is set to really Monday to Friday 9 to 5. Because we're doing this on the weekend, it actually has no available times, but I'm just going to jump forward here on the date over to a Monday. And then you can actually see, before we get into the whole bulk of it, let's actually run through the scheduling poll. If you have multiple polls, you can actually see there's a button here that says view all your polls up the top. This is where you can open this up. It'll take you to a external web page, shows you all the polls you have active as well as historical. You can choose the time zone because maybe people are going to be in a different time zone. Of course, you can set the duration of the meeting, whether you want a 15, 30, all the way up to an 8-hour meeting. And then you can go ahead and select the date as well. And under the date, you can use this button to the right to scroll through different dates. Then you can also choose by sort by availability or sort by time. If you go sort by availability, this will look at everybody in your organization, and it'll give you a green person for those that are free at that time. It'll give you red if they've got something booked in, and it'll give you an orange if they're a possible. So this is where the ability to look in your organization calendar of people that are free, this actually becomes really handy. So you can sort it by availability, or if you want to see time 9 to 5, you can sort it by time. In this example, everybody's free the whole time, but what we can see here is we can go through and say 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we'll jump to the next day, we'll go 10 o'clock, 11:30, we're just going to add in a few times here, 10 o'clock again. And what this should do is really help us find out that the three of us are available, and the person that's grayed out is the external person. But we're going to say, hey, look, this is the times over the week that the three of us are available. What suits you, right? So as we scroll down, we can see all the times that are available. Then we're simply going to select on next once we've picked all the times in the days. And it's going to take us to this page here. This is going to just give us a brief summary of the days and the times that we've picked. If there was a time you didn't want in there, say Monday 9 a.m., no one really wants a 9 a.m. meeting on a Monday. We're simply going to delete that. You can also add a location, of course, if there's going to be a physical location. I like to put in just Microsoft Teams if it's going to be an online meeting. And then you have the button there as well for your Teams meeting, whether you want a meeting link in or not. I keep this on all the time just because there's no harm in having a Teams meeting link just naturally populate. And then underneath that, you can change the poll settings as well. So I'd recommend actually having a look at the poll settings here. So the top one is schedule when attendees reach a consensus. So if when people vote, there are 4 people that have agreed on a time, it will automatically book that meeting in. The time or the button underneath that is hold selected times in my calendar. I would turn this off because if you select 5 times as options, it then blocks out 5 times in your calendar, and that's really not, I found that quite frustrating, so I keep this off. Notify me about poll updates. I want this on because sometimes I really just care about the external person's response, but this tells me when people have made responses of it works, doesn't work, all that sort of stuff. Require attendees to verify their identity. For this example, I'll leave it turned on, but I actually turn it off because I find it a barrier to entry of people going ahead and having to two-factor verify before they can actually vote on the poll. And then lock poll for attendees, again, I turn this off. But once you're happy with this, I'm simply going to go create, It's going to create the poll. It's going to drop it in to our Outlook here. I'm just going to quickly write a message. Once you've done that, we're simply going to hit send. And then you can see here, this is what the attendees are going to see. It's a vote button as well as a view all your polls. I'm going to hit send. And then what we're going to do is actually jump to my external participants. So we're going to see what it looks like when someone outside of the organization gets a poll. So we can see here that this is the email that I've just received from Cara Cole, and I'm the external person. And she's asked me to vote in this poll here. So I'm simply going to select on the blue button as my external attendee. I'm going to go vote. This is going to ask me to verify who I am. So select who I am in this organization, select who I am in this meeting poll. I'm going to select myself, and this is going to ask me to sign in. So this is that verification step, which I actually, I choose to remove, but I'll show you what it looks like for this example, where you're going to have to sign in to your account, or you're going to have to ask them to send a verification code. So it's going to send a verification code to my email. Here's the code. So I'm just going to copy it over, paste it in, and then hit submit. And now I've signed into the poll. So can you see that that extra step of getting a verification code can actually slow down the process? If you have important meetings or secure meetings, you can have it turned on. But for most of the time, I'd actually have it turned off. And then what you can see here is how other people have voted. So Cara, being the meeting organizer, is available for everything. Elwood and Terry, we don't have their votes yet, so it's actually just question marks. And then for us, we can actually go in and say, you know what, that time works, that time doesn't, but I love 11:30 on a Tuesday, and Wednesday, yeah, that can work. And then I'm also, if I wanted to choose another time, I could go propose another time as well. Then I can go through, select the time, select the date, and hit done. But I'm not going to do that for now. I'm simply just going to hit the vote button as the external participant. And it says vote submitted. So let's jump back and see what it looks like for the meeting organizer that sent the poll out to see what they see now. We're back in Cara's Outlook, and you can see here we have a brand new email saying, Cara Coleman, someone has voted on your poll. So let's open this up. And it actually tells us that aldojamestechtips.com has voted, and we can scroll down. It says 2 of 4 people have voted so far, so Cara and myself. And then we can go through and see all of the answers that the external person put. What I'd recommend doing now is either choosing to view the poll or view all your polls. For now, I'm going to go view poll, so we see this specific one. It's going to take us to Outlook Online, and then it's going to show us the poll so we can actually get it in a nice view. But what you can see from Cara's point of view is that there's actually a button here as well for scheduling the meeting. So if there's a time that we really want, we can simply hit schedule. If we want to send a reminder, because not everyone has voted, there's a button here that says send reminder. Or if this poll is no longer relevant, you can hit cancel as well. So as we scroll through, we can see Aldo James said yes to 10 a.m., no to 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, but there's a love heart right next to 11:30 on the Tuesday, and that time works for me. And obviously when I sent this poll out, I knew that both Terry and Elwood, because they're in my organization, that time worked for them as well. I'm simply going to hit schedule. This is going to pop up a new Outlook dialog box, and it's actually starting to create the meeting for us. And here we can go ahead and add a quick blurb. And you can see here it's already populated the right time, the right date, and it's actually got the Teams meeting button turned on. And here you can make any other adjustments if you want to add people in, take people out, but then you can simply hit send and off we go. If you wanted to see all the polls that you have ever created in the scheduling poll tool, you can go to the page again. There it says someone has voted, and then there is a button here that says view all your polls. So let's open this up just to show you everything that we've actually created. And we can see here how many open polls that we currently have. Right now there's none. The completed polls that we've had, the ones that we've cancelled, and of course the ones that have expired. On the right hand side of that is also the button for default poll settings. So if you wanted to change the default settings instead of having to adjust them all the time, you can go to this website here by simply going to any poll, selecting on view all your polls, and then going to default poll settings. And then you can go through and change all the default poll settings so you don't have to adjust it every single time. And there you have it. It is that easy to use meeting polls in Microsoft Outlook. I've been using this feature for years and I find it really, really handy. If you did like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And of course, if you want to supercharge the ways your computer, hit that subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.